Whoa, it's Yang and Yang Gang. This your boy Triple Cup Chuck, and I'm up. And I'm about to go on the Yang Gang rant. Yes, the Yang Gang, Andrew Yang's campaign is not going nowhere. 2020, 2024, still the same thing. Right now, we going all out, still trying to go for humanity first and keep alive the policies, the dreams that we have that brought us together as the Yang Gang. And we're going to make a way through. It might not be exactly how we expect it, but it's going to be different. Well, with that being said, I want to say everybody that rock with me, you know what I'm saying, I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Look, I was on vacation and I was visiting with my family, so I ain't had an opportunity to release videos, but I was watching and I was seeing from the background. And one of the first things that I had noticed was before Andrew Yang had said he's suspending his campaign was Pete Buttigieg just had an amazing surge. And I was like, how is he having this surge? And I'm looking on CNN and they just going over the same couple of candidates. Pete Buttigieg over and over, Bernie Sanders, and I think it was either one other person they were showing, but it was a lot of Bernie and it was Pete. And it was like back to back to back. And then when they were showing like the people that was polling, they left Yang out for so long, and then when they did mention or even show the glimpse of them, it was like boom, here, boom, gone. So when I was like, damn, why is they doing it? I mean, they still doing the same little childish stuff. So I'm like, well, Yang Gang, we about to clap. We gonna go back on it because I'm building up a lot of energy. You know what I'm saying? I was building it all the way up. I was ready to power up, and that's when. Right after that, I heard about Andrew Yang suspending his campaign. And I was like, damn, that's messed up. But hold on. Before I heard about Andrew Yang suspending his campaign, that's when I heard about this voter protection. Voter protection with this woman that worked for voter protection. She was a director. That's what she was. And she was a part of Pete Buttigieg's campaign. And I was like, okay, well, if this person that's a part of Pete Buttigieg's campaign, and now she's over, no, she was over the Pete Buttigieg's organized for Pete of America. I think that's what it was. Excuse me, no, I'm getting kind of mixed up. As soon as I said Andrew Yang suspended his campaign, it kind of got me, you know what I'm saying? It just kind of got me a little bit for a second. So I apologize for me kind of mumbling over that because, you know, that's still fresh in my mind. So when I heard about Pete Buttigieg we had this voter protection director that came from his organization for People for America, of course she was going to be biased toward Pete. And I think her name was Melinda Goldman or something like that, whatever her first name is. For me, her name is kind of irrelevant, but I know her last name was Goldman. So she was working on the voter protection. I was like, well, how could they have somebody from almost like Pete campaign and go over there, and then all of a sudden he just have an amazing surge? And right before that, that's when all the numbers and stuff like that had got discombobulated, and they didn't know what happened in Iowa. And I was like, well, what is all this going on? What is they really trying to do? And that's when you really see it's the powers that be. They're doing something, because you could see the trickery. And then right after that, that's when I heard Andrew Yang had announced his campaign is going to be suspended. So when he said that, I was looking at the news like, this might be a situation where Andrew Yang know that he can't win a fight, not by getting a vote, but he can't win a fight right now by these corporations and the things that they pulling. Well, even the resources that he is seeing from the Yang Gang, he know that's not going to be enough. He have to kind of take a step back or team up with somebody to actually get these policies across and get some of these things across. Because Andrew Yang said it plenty of times, multiple times, that he's not running for president because he want to be some goddamn president. He running for president because he want to see a change in the future. So if he did the numbers and he see a better option to get real change, Andrew Yang is going to take that option, because he's not doing this for the fortune and the fame and the glory of becoming president and having his name on the wall. No, he's doing this for his kids and his kids' future and the kids of all the other American citizens. So that's what Andrew Yang is doing. So when I seen that, I was like, well, he might have did that, but then at the same time, I think some trickery that's going on with Pete Buttigieg, and all of a sudden he having that big surge. Is that a reason why Andrew Yang pretty much got forced out? Because he was actually starting to climb and starting to peak. I mean, he wasn't peaking, but he was starting to climb. You seen the growth, and you seen all the thing that he was missing was name recognition, and all he had to do was get his name out there and just keep pushing his name out there, and all of a sudden he was going to be the candidate. He nailed it home. If Andrew Yang would have just bring this out and just could have kept pushing the note of he is the only candidate that Donald Trump has not mentioned, and just kept saying his name, saying it and saying it. Now, the UBI, once they got enough videos on YouTube that people will run across UBI, and he might run a commercial ad about UBI. But like I was saying, he need to like leave that conversation alone, as long as he know that the information is out there. And he should have been trying to attack like how he was the person that Donald Trump was afraid of, and how he the only person that can grab Donald Trump supporters. And he should have found multiple different ways about attacking that statement, or giving it across different ways and giving different scenarios that was completely separate from each other to show people different options that why he would have been the best candidate. But then I was looking the same thing how they did with Bernie Sanders last year. I mean, not last year, last term, when he was going against Hillary. And y'all know what they did to Bernie. I don't have to say it. Bernie knows what they did to Bernie. So this same scenario might be the same thing that's happening to Andrew Yang. And then after that, I was looking back and I was looking at Tulsi, to be honest with you, because she is one of the candidates I like. She kind of remind me of Rogue with a little Ronda Rousey kind of attitude. Not Ronda Rousey, but of the Diaz Lioness, the girl that have the women's championship belt right now. You know, that real look of like, you know, a person that you could actually feel like you can get behind them. See, me, some people say, oh, you know, bias and sexist and stuff like that, but I don't look for that. I look for like the best candidate. And when I say in Tulsi, she actually have a look to her where you can look at just about any other candidate and ask yourself, if you had to choose which candidate would be the hardest for you to trick or fool. Would it be Bernie Sanders? Would it be Joe Biden? Would it be Pete Buttigieg? Would it be Elizabeth Warren? Or would it be Kamala Harris back then? Or would have been Booker? You know, we got all these other candidates. You can even go to the ones that dropped out and just look at which out of all the candidates, which one of the ones that was going to be the hardest, what you think would be the hardest for you to trick. What I mean by trick, like a little joke, like let's say if you got or Joe Biden and you stand on one side and you touch him on the shoulder and you move to the other side, or like a person that you could you could just fool easily, basically what I'm saying. Or you want a person that you feel like, oh, it's gonna be hard to trick them or hard to fool them, or with this new technology they would have a better understanding. So when I seen Tulsi, I was like, well, she is the only other candidate that looked kind of like she relatable, and she had that I will mess you up if you play. Like she had that I back up what I say, so she mean what she say. I don't have that feeling with her about that she is a person that don't mean what she say. And Elizabeth Warren, to me, she got that dingy, and Joe Biden is, to me, is the guy too old. Well, you could pretty much persuade him to do whatever you want him to do. And Bernie Sanders, he only have a few years left in him. I mean, he actually is a candidate I like. I always liked the Bernie. I was a part of the Bernie Bros before the YangGang even was around. So I was that. But now, by me looking more into it, who would I think would, as of this year here, would be the best candidate would be Tulsi. And that's when, right after that, it was so amazing. Andrew Yang came out and he was talking about, you know, I was just, you know, being heartfelt and listening to all of my favorite YouTubers that talk about Andrew Yang and all of the videos that pull up about Andrew Yang. And if you see a video you like about Andrew Yang that y'all still want to support, you know what I'm saying, tag it down here. But when I was seeing a video about Andrew Yang saying he'll support any candidate that will back UBI, he'll come out and support him. The whole, you know what I'm saying, and really and truly, that means a candidate that's willing to say this was a good idea, this is what I'm willing to bring to the table as well. And that's not just the UBI, it's some of the other policies. And maybe, and you think about it, some of the Democrat policies are pretty much basically the same, you know, a little tweak here, a little tweak there, but the core of it is still the same. But what Andrew Yang was saying, and it was just amazing, because I remember this here, they kept asking him who would be his VP, and he was saying he wouldn't mind being in the office with a woman, you know, give it that balance. So I'm looking at now what would be a good balance. Y'all know where this conversation going. As of right now, what would be the best balance? Okay, for me personally, Tulsi is the one that's holding the torch. And then she came out and said, you know what? UBI is actually a good thing. She didn't want to, you know what I'm saying, take it as when Andrew Yang was probably talking about it, and then people say, oh, she's just bandwagon and stuff like that. It's like she got the torch and she carrying it on. It's like you take the baton and you run and you try to catch the lead. You use all your might and all your speed and you reach out to reach to the next person, and they come and they just reach their hand back out going at full speed and they grab it and just keep going. That's what Tulsi is, the person that's going to have to be right now. So when the people saying the YangGang, would y'all support Tulsi? Me, I say yeah. I can't speak for the whole YangGang, but Tulsi I will support because I seen some of the things that she was doing. Elizabeth Warren, maybe she was saying she was open to UBI and she wanted to get some more data and information about it, but she looked like she's a person that will be, she feel like she'll be easily persuaded to go left or go right. Like you could push her. She don't feel like she got a strong foundation. Bernie, I don't think Bernie would do it because he is stubborn and he think the plan that he got, no matter how old it becomes, that's the perfect plan and that's what he gonna stick with because that's his guns. Joe Biden, I don't know if he'll do it, but if he would do it, I would support Joe Biden. And Pete Buttigieg, last but not least, Pete Buttigieg. If Pete Buttigieg was to get a UBI or support the UBI and ask us to back him, no. Pete Buttigieg, is something about him I do not like. He feel like a snake. It's something about his essence, his glow, the things that he do. I do not care for this person. Not you know what I'm saying, that as an individual. It's just me for saying he the one that's going to represent me as the president, not the person that I'm looking forward to. Even if he pull a UBI, I just, you know what I'm saying, I'd rather just make my statement clear. I just don't want to support him, and it is not from his sexuality. That's not all why I don't want to support him. So I don't want people thinking it's just this here. No, it's multiple reasons why. So they got candidates that y'all might say there's multiple reasons why I don't want to support them at all. Let me think Kamala Harris. She was one of those candidates where she had my borderline, where she had so much stuff that I didn't care about. Well, she would have had to do a lot of changing and a lot of upselling for me to support her, because she had that line where I felt like she just put a lot of black people in jail, and it's gonna be hard for me to see past that. She just have that look. Some people, it's their essence, like Andrew Yang. See the look on his face, and everybody know that he was sincere, he was genuine. Like Booker, he was kind of coming out of his shell, but he had one of those faces where you don't know if he's a friendly person or if he's a fuck off person until you get to know the person, and that's only as the discretions goes by. Well, that's me talking about my rant about the YangGang. And don't forget, man, just look at this thing that's going on. We gonna bring more videos, not just about Andrew Yang, but we gonna bring the whole YangGang and the humanity first, the policies and the thoughts, the essence of what really is the YangGang. And I'm gonna continue on dropping videos that got these Easter eggs and tidbits in them. Like I had a video that I'm gonna drop tomorrow with me and my cousin. He's a military vet, and he was talking about the policies and some of the things that's going on. I mean, if you listen to this video for this long here, wait till you hear that. This is like a short podcast, and I gave him my 5-minute treatment where I got the clips coming in and out. So it's kind of like, you know, just kind of entertaining while we talk about some of our wants and politics and stuff like that and our desires. And I throw in some YangGang stuff without going blatant about YangGang, because you know nobody wants you pestering them all the time. But I want to just make sure when I be talking that I throw it in the air, so when he hears stuff about Andrew Yang, he'll say, oh yeah, I did hear about that. That is something that I would like to see. That's something I would like to see come out. It might be possible. And then when you start seeing Andrew Yang, the more possible it'll be. Like next time when he come back, when Andrew Yang come back in 2024, or if he get back in there because of some trickery or some foolery that was going on, like they was up in there beating people up, trying to keep them from voting, or keeping yes, this is some extra stuff I put in here because I was laughing. But if y'all want to see some more videos, I like to have fun like this here, and we're gonna go ahead and end this here right after I watch a couple more of these blows, because this is how they do us, and this is how they try to treat us in the YangGang. It's some type of trickery that's going on. That's all I want to say. I don't know exactly what it is, because I have my own thoughts and opinion, but it's not fact. It's just my own thoughts, and I really think that it have something to do with this whole voter protection. Excuse me, voter protection director. That's all I want to say about that. If you know any information about that, leave a comment below. If you want to talk anything about that, if you want to see some more hands being thrown and some more slanging and banging and all this other crazy stuff, that's as fun. But anyway, I want to see some comments below and go ahead and let me know what you think. What conspiracy? Now it don't have to be conspiracy or thoughts that you have or feeling that you have about why Andrew Yang really dropped out, or do you think that he really have a chance, or about Toasty? Because yeah, with him and Toasty, I think that would be the only way it could be a power move, because he would have Toasty with the experience and the military background, and if she elects him to be her VP and they go with something with some of her policies and some of his policies, and that could actually make our country go forward and actually could have the opportunity to beat Trump. Because a lot of people say, oh, I know Andrew Yang, I would have voted for Andrew Yang over Trump instead of me being a Trump supporter, and now Toasty is going to announce him as her VP. I'm just saying, for me, that's still a win-win, because we're not doing this here for no fame or no fortune. We're doing this to push humanity first and forward. Well, this your boy Triple Cup Chuck. Y'all know I like all this crazy stuff, and I like to have fun. Y'all be cool. Y'all be safe, secure. Now share this video, man. Let some other people hear about this here, because we need to get this out here and make sure, and we find out that Pete Buttigieg did some trickery. And we find out that he is part of the reason why Andrew Yang had to suspend his campaign, and we got to do this petition to get Andrew Yang back into the campaign, and it actually works, he gonna have to feel the cover of the lump. Well, I'm about this thing. Peace.